This is a video review of ToQ-DaiOh from Ressha Sentai ToQger. And I like this figure, I do. I like it a lot more than ToQ-oh, which was not a terrible figure, but it was weird. But I do have some problems with it. Basically, it's too simple. I'll show you what I mean when we get to the transformation, and then I'm also not a big fan of Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh, which is when you take a Cho Tokyo, which is Tokyo-oh and ToQ-oh, and combine it with ToQ-DaiOh. Now this is the first of the build Ressha, and I really like this thing. It's big, it's got lots of nice, lovely detail. I love this shade of orange, it's very nice and appealing. And then I like how there are these yellow and blue stripes just on the middle to help break it up. It's not huge, but it's enough to keep the orange from being overpowering, so it's very well appreciated. For features, you have this claw thing which can come out, which I'm not sure how useful it would be on rail tracks since it can only go forward. Maybe it's to get rid of obstructions, like maybe down trees or power lines or something. It's also kind of weird that the cockpit's in it, which means that if you're driving this thing and you're moving this, you're going to get seasick. And the other thing you have this crane that you can move around, but you will reveal the head, so it's not the best feature in the world. And that's about it for this mode. You do get a hitch back here. This is the other one, and I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be like. This one is obviously a mobile crane system, but this one is weird. It doesn't look like it really interacts with the outside world around it. Maybe it's a track layer or something, because it has this track that goes around it, around this section here, and obviously the track is supposed to move it like a tank tread. But then that means this is not really a train. Maybe these are railroad ties, and maybe it's like an all-terrain train. That sounds weird, but either way, I like the way this looks. It has more of this nice yellow and blue detailing. I'm just not sure what it is or what it's supposed to be. And now to transform this is, well, what I was hoping would happen is that this would come in and then you would slide into place, sort of like you do with the green and blue Ressha on Tokyo-oh, and then it would lock into place. I was hoping that's what was going to happen, but no, it's just a clip system down here, and I'm kind of afraid of this clip system because, well, if one of the clips breaks, or both of them, then the figure's kind of ruined. You can still make Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh, but we'll get into that, and I wouldn't be too concerned about that, except I have had bad luck with ToQger and Go Busters, with both of them having lots of broken clips on them. And I fear for this. I haven't had any broken clips on any of my ToQger stuff so far, but if I start getting them, then lots of these figures are going to suck. So you just clip that on, and there's a little button right there. Press it, rotate the leg forward, bring the foot down. Do the same thing over here. And then you bring the arms down, bring the head forward, and that's it. This is ToQ-DaiOh. You do not that much to build him. He's a fairly simple guy. Now that's not to say that I don't like this mode. I love this mode. It's a great looking mode. I just wish you had to do more to get to this mode, because it is not the most, it's not the best tactile experience putting them together, because there's just not that much to do with your hands. And I like transforming toys because I'm doing stuff with them with my hands. This is more of a very static action figure than a transforming guy for me, which it's not a huge problem. I just do wish he did some more. Now in this mode, you can rotate the arms around 360, move them in and out. You can bend the legs in at this joint right here, and that's about it. You can kind of fake moving his head, but his face does not move with his helmet, so only in little bits for maybe character expression, and then it still doesn't quite work. And one thing that it's going to be more of a problem for you, because my camera is a bit higher than I am, is I'm not a big fan of this helmet because it overshadows his eyes. So in most poses, you can't really see his eyes. Or from most angles, you can't see. You have to really go down low. And since he's not a huge figure, he's, let me get ToQ-oh in frame here. He's a little bit shorter at the eyes than ToQ-oh. And ToQ-oh is, except for this little pack right here, exactly the same size as Tokyo. Excuse me. So I love the way this guy looks. He's a great looking figure. I just wish he did more. So, by himself, he's not a high recommendation, but he is a recommendation. I do like him. And speaking of by himself, let's get him combined with a Cho Tokyo over here to make a Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh. Now, to start this off, we're going to want to get a Cho Tokyo ready. Take off the head and remove the sword. That's all we really need to do to get a Cho Tokyo ready. Now, what we're going to do for build DaiOh, this is going to get cramped very fast. So you're going to want to take off the arms, take off this helmet piece, pull this off, and then we'll deal with these pieces separately. Right now we're going to deal with some of these smaller things down here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces here, which we'll plug together. Now these are the two female ends of the train combination system that ToQger's been using. So these are lesbians, hee. And then you'll take this thing here, pull it out, and bend this down. Pull out this handle, and I'm sure you know where this is going. Then you plug the sword in right here. And now we finally have, in ToQger, the obligatory giant lance that's held way up close to the bit. That's never going to be practical. And it's made completely out of leftover parts that no one else can figure out how to use. There's one of these in every series, it seems like, these days. So I'll put this off to the side. Next we're going to do is deal with these legs. Actually, yeah, I'll save these for a bit later. For the legs, what we're going to do is we're going to press this button up here, which will release the feet. This button out here, which will release the legs out. Then we're going to bend them in like this. Then we're going to take Cho Tokyo, and we're going to put the feet on it. And there are clips here and here. And we're going to clip them on like this. So instead of the regular platform shoes that you tend to get with giant combinations where each foot is separate, they're bound to the back here, and at first that seems like it kind of sucks, but this is a Sentai figure. His legs don't move, so the only thing this serves to do is to make him more stable. It doesn't detract from him at all. So at first I was a little bit nonplussed by this, but I actually quite like this because it makes him very sturdy. Like, altogether, most combinations as large as Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh, most of them are kind of fragile. You have to treat them with kid gloves or parts will start falling off. Not so with this. So, there are the legs. Let's move up. Now we can put this into the hand, and it will rest on this thing right here. And the last thing we need to do is get the new head pieces together. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take this head and this piece which was on build DaiOh's head, and we'll clip this into the top, and then he's got a visor. And you can lift it. And basically all this serves to do is make it look like he has a much larger face than he really does. So we've got that done, we'll put it off to the side. And now we get to the weird piece, which is this body right here. So you'll turn the head around like this. You will press this button right here to turn these around. And you're rotating them at the, what were his suspenders? You're rotating those around, not just his shoulders. So press this in, rotate this down. And then you'll rotate these forward, and this time at the shoulders and not at the suspenders. Then you rotate them up together like this. They'll click together. Then you'll take the Tokyo DaiOh head, put it onto the top like this, and then what we'll do is we'll take these tabs here and here and plug those on here and here. And I realize this is getting kind of big, so not everything will be perfectly in shot. Plug that on, and here we have Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh all put together. And it's kind of weird. By the way, one thing I like to do is push these down, because if those are up, it looks like it's a much shorter robot standing on top of some tank treads. If you push these down, then it makes it look more like his legs are all one unified piece, even though they're just free-floating. So that's one thing I like to do. I think it improves the look of the figure. And I'm going to have to readjust my stand, so excuse me. And I don't know what I think about this, and part of that's because I have no idea what the designers were thinking about this. Because look at this. his shoulders come from the middle of his chest. That is so weird. It was bad enough with Cho Tokyo with the larger head and the slightly lower shoulders, but it was forgivable. It was well within the weirdness I'm willing to accept from Sentai, but this is going just a little bit too far. Now, when his arms are straight up and down, it kind of works because you can pretend that up here is his shoulder, but then his weapon kind of screws him up because he has to hold his weapon right, to have it not at a weird angle, and basically to not have it just drooping off to the side. You have to move his arm up, and that ruins the only illusion that makes his upper body look decent at all. So I'm just not entirely sold on Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh as a premise. I am excited to see what's going to finish this off, whatever the final mecha is that attaches to this. I think there's going to be one more. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the news releases for this, but the one thing that I'm curious about is what's going to happen with this joint, because with this joint right here, you can't bring it all the way out, and it seems weird for a part to have an angle like this for it to clip onto, so it seems like it's going to clip on like this, where it's up and then a right angle. So I'm thinking we're going to get something that's going to look like a ginormous head built from this piece, and I'm just curious what's going to happen with this. Is it going to fix the arms up here? Is it going to do anything else down here? What is going to happen? What I really do hope happens is that they do something to change the chest, because we've had the same chest since Tokyo-oh, and it's not that it's getting a little bit stale, it's just that it all looks like it's built on Tokyo-oh. It doesn't look like any of these are really their own robots. They just look like armor on Tokyo-oh. So basically, yeah, that's been my review of Build-DaiOh and Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh. I like Build-DaiOh, but he is unfortunately simple, and Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh is just weird. I don't know what to think about it, and I'm not particularly thrilled by it. Although I will notice on some occasions, from some angles, I look at him and I'm really impressed by him. Oh, by the way, I said that he's fairly sturdy for being a combination of 3 robots. Look at this. Shaking him like a baby! Nothing's coming off this guy. So he is a very sturdy and large and imposing guy. It's just he has weird proportions. So anyway, I vaguely recommend Build-DaiOh, not for Cho Cho ToQ-DaiOh, but he is a decent-ish figure by himself. If you just like trains or you just love his design or something, I'd say go for him if you've got the extra cash and nothing else you want. So anyway, I review Transformers, Power Rangers, Digimon, lots of stuff like that. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Check the video description down below. I've got some Facebook links and some playlists. And thank you for watching.